John, it'll be really interesting to see what Bumble reports here. And I think the key thing to watch is something that Stifel also pointed to in its report, which is the number of people who aren't just using the free service, but that sign up to pay. How many new paying subscribers does Bumble get? That is going to be a key indicator of how much people really want to get out there and do this in-person dating and not just the video dating that they've been doing on these dating services during the pandemic.
And Robert Frank, I mean, people are going to be on there looking for Bill and Melinda Gates, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, now that Mackenzie Scott is married, there's only one ex-billionaire wife out there. But look, what's interesting is that, you know, I remember when Whitney Wolf was on our air, the CEO of Bumble, saying, this is back in February, that the pandemic was great for online dating because people had transferred their physical lives onto the virtual and digital, and this would be a permanent shift, and that the pandemic was actually a huge boost. Now they're making the opposite argument, saying, it's going to be great for dating sites because people will be back in person and mingling again. So maybe both could be true. But I do think that once people can get out there, they go to bars, they go to restaurants, they go to concerts, I just don't think they will be as reliant on these digital sites as they were during the pandemic.
Kate, maybe this means Coinbase won't remain #1 in the App Store. Maybe that's just
Exactly.
I can't go out thing, and one of these dating apps will take the spot.
They're calling it Moderna Girl Summer. I don't know if you've heard that term. Or Hot Vax Summer, Pfizer Girl Summer. So a play on the Hot Girl Summer from Megan Thee Stallion. But a lot of excitement about getting out there.
And Julia, Whitney Wolf Herd coming up on Tech Check tomorrow. I mean, there's a lot riding on what's going to happen in this space. And there's more to Bumble the stock than Bumble the app.
Yes, it's not just Bumble, it's also Badoo, which is an app that we're not familiar with here in the U.S., but it is very big internationally. So we have to remember this is a two-app company here. It's not just the namesake app Bumble. So we'll see how those two apps grow. Bumble is less mature, especially internationally, than Badoo is, and Bumble's the one that lets women make the first move. Badoo does have some features like that, but is more of a traditional dating service.
And Bumble's the fast grower, yes. All right, next, add another wrinkle to the crypto craze. A new digital token called Internet Computer soared to a whopping $45 billion valuation just one day after its debut. That's likely due to its potential to disrupt the software industry. Internet Computer can reportedly help creators publish content online without having to go through cloud companies or internet giants. Kate, help us understand this. Is this where we're going to find Donald Trump next? Is Dogecoin in trouble? I can't believe I'm having to ask, what is Internet Computer?
Internet Computer is out of an episode of Silicon Valley, right? It's the perfect name. What's really happening here is people are looking to ride that wave that Ethereum has seen. That cryptocurrency hit a new all-time high. It's really been seen as the network that people are building things on. People are coming out of the woodwork. They're trying to make a competitor to Ethereum and sort of be that back-end provider. They call these projects because most of these are not live. You know, these really have not actually been used for anything yet. Their prices have skyrocketed. This immediately, within a week of launching, is now one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the world. You just see so much excitement about things that are vaporware, to use an older tech term, but really these things aren't live. So yes, they want to compete with Ethereum. They're sort of marketing themselves as the next big software tech platform, but a lot of these aren't live. And the other thing, a lot of these are venture-backed. So yes, you're investing in the token. A lot of retail investors say, hey, I want to jump at the next big thing. What's the next Dogecoin or Ethereum? Yet a lot of the real money and the real wealth creation is happening in the private market. So it is sort of, you have two sides of this, but a lot of speculation going on recently.
Robert, maybe they should have called it Series of Tubes. Are you buying Internet Computer?
No, what's fascinating about this and what Kate just mentioned is that Bitcoin is now old money. I mean, you look at all of these altcoins, starting with Dogecoin and now Internet Computer, which is really a competitor to Ethereum because it's a new sort of smart contract play. And that sort of goes along with Polkadot, Binance, and all these other competitors. I mean, what investors in these coins really want is not so much legitimacy, but growth. And Bitcoin is stuck around 55, 60,000. All these other coins are taking off. I mean, this is the declining dominance of Bitcoin, and it's just fascinating to watch.
Yeah, well, that scares me, chasing growth. versus legitimacy. Next up, demand for shapewear. Think Spanx here. Weight loss services also booming as folks get ready for face-to-face interactions again, maybe after they succeed on those dating apps. One of the biggest winners, Weight Watchers, shares are up more than 50% this year, reported better than expected results in the first quarter, thanks to people working to lose the quarantine 15. New study found that the average adult gained nearly 2 pounds per month during lockdowns. Julia, you're out there in LA, which is known for shapewear, for people being conscious of their looks. Maybe, perfect timing for Oprah getting in like she did on this business. What do you think?
Look, I would say California is known for its healthy lifestyle. So what to me is so interesting about all of these trends is they all fit together. People want to put on their best face. They want to take off the sweatpants, put on real clothes, maybe some Spanx underneath them, and get out into the real world, which, by the way, ties back to the dating conversation we just had. But I think that Weight Watchers, which, by the way, now goes by the name WW, is such a fascinating success story here because the pandemic really accelerated the shift from people wanting to go into in-person meetings to it being primarily a digital business and having this huge digital component. And that is a very profitable shift for WW. Now that they can have higher margins there, they could reach many more people who maybe didn't have the flexibility to go into regular meetings. So a lot of potential there as they see the sort of the health trend, because WW is positioning itself more as a health company than a Weight Watcher, than a weight loss company, benefiting from the digital reach of everyone being stuck at home.
You know, Kate Rooney, what annoys me is that WW is twice as many syllables to say as Weight Watchers.
Exactly. That's an easier name, right? But I think a lot of the reopening has caught some of us by surprise. I think whether it's things like Rent the Runway, retail, braces in some cases, you're seeing Smile Direct Club do pretty well as people want to straighten their teeth because things are reopening, but definitely a tailwind there. But I would agree with you, California, having moved out here pretty recently, there's a lot more activity going on, but I'm with you. I'm definitely renewing my Rent the Runway subscriptions, and I need to buy a lot of outfits, so it's probably helping some of those companies.
Well, you're in Northern California. It's a different flavor of activity than Southern California.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.